The Loc Doctress at Making Styles. Locks down.
Loc Doctress got it on lock.
Got it on lock. MakingStyles.com.
Weak spots are one of the most common issues that lock wearers have. Now, with so many different techniques, you want to know how to properly repair weak spots if they do occur on your locks, and how to do it properly without the use of thread, glue, or wrapping, straight from a loctician who has the experience working with locks. So I have natural grown locks, and here are one of my locks that have gone thin. I've had a few that have gone thin over the years, but this is just one of them. You can see how bad it's gotten, and see the chemical damage just as a result of bleaching and coloring can also contribute to a weak spot that looks like this. And these weak spots occur at different spots. This right here is the common location of weak spots towards the tips, because your tips go through the most when it comes to your locks, whether it's laying on your locks, whether it's putting your locks in ponytails, styling your locks, your tips tend to go thin the fastest. So I have another weak spot farther up right here, and it's more so something that you can feel, not so much see. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I repair those. Now, the first thing I have to color match some hair to my natural lock. So I chose this number 32 that's available on MakingStyles.com, and this is the Heritage Afro Kinky Bundle. This is the 6-inch hair that I'm using, and I'm only going to use a small strand. I don't want to add too much bulk to my lock. So I have this small strand, and I have my crochet needle, which is also available on MakingStyles.com. So I'm going to go ahead and find the lock that I need to repair. I'm going to put the hair against the weak spot like so. And all I'm going to do is place it directly over the weak spot and palm roll it back and forth. I'm really going to palm roll it, all that entire strand, into the weak spot. All right, so now you can see what's happening. It's starting to get fused into my lock, and I'm going to go ahead and just palm roll the rest of that piece. Okay, so now it's time to reinforce it and tighten it in. Now, all I'm doing with this hook is just poking in and out of the lock. Now, what you'll find is that when you're using a crochet needle, especially one that's as small as a 0.6 millimeter, you're more likely to get those little stabs and pricks in your finger. So it's all about the motion in which you tighten this piece of hair. And I'm really just grabbing all of those pieces and locking them in so that it bonds with my existing lock. I'm not using any wrapping, I'm not using any thread, and I'm not using any glue, because use of those things really just results in the issue continuing long term. It doesn't really resolve the issue. All right, so far I have this little piece that has been locked in. Now I just have that tiny strand left. I'm going to take a tiny strand of hair, another piece here, and I'm going to add that back into that weak spot. And on this one, I'm going to bundle it up just a little more, palm roll it. You can do this for about 20 seconds, just palm rolling. And this helps to get the hair nice and matted inside of the lock. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and crochet that part that I just palm rolled. And it's an up and down angle, a side to side angle, and just going at different angles and directions of the lock so that it can be nice and uniform. So that was a pretty bad weak spot. And it's an easy fix. No need to worry. You won't really have to lose the lock. And you can see how it's becoming more uniform now. So I'm going to continue going up all the way up to probably this point where the weak spot starts, because everything up here is pretty consistent and tight. And so next I want to focus on this weak spot at the top. I'm going to make it look just like that. Palm roll it after it's in. And when you palm roll it, that helps to get it more cylindrical as well. And like I said, this is an exact blend with my hair. So that's the other important part, is getting that right blend. So like I said, that's a number 32 here. That number 32 is going to be like a deep auburn, red auburn kind of color. And actually when it's locked, it doesn't look as bright as what it is when it's loose. So locking it into my hair, you actually see where it's a little more of that deep burgundy that I have. And it really blends in. Okay, so I'm going to continue going up, working my way up. I just wanted to come and do this video so that you can actually see how to properly repair a weak spot. And again, that's using this Afro Kinky hair. This is from makinstyles.com, Heritage Collection, Afro Kinky, color number 32. This is 100% human hair. So yes, it has been processed using colors and dyes and things like that in order to achieve this color, but it's 100% human hair, meaning that it's going to blend better with your natural grown locks. Even if you have lock extensions, you may have to do a correction or repair on your locks occasionally, just depending on how you're taking care of them. All right, so if you have any questions or if you want to see anything else, just let me know. If you want to book an appointment, you could do so on makinstyles.com. Sometimes, you know, there are people who try and do this technique and they still just can't get the hang of it. So you may need a professional to just go through your locks and do the repairs on your weak spots for you. So, like I said, I'm just continuing on up until that weak spot is completely filled in. And this is something that takes less than 5 minutes. It's not that long. All right, now that it's in, I'm going to palm roll. And you're really beginning to see this top part that I was talking about. See, when the hair is curled, it kind of conceals it a little more. But when it's stretched, you can see that weak spot right there. And that's what I'm working my way up to. So thank you again